Hi, I'm Camilla with the Fi Resellers, and I am a mom who thrifts items for cheap and sells them for a profit online. And I want to show you today how you can do that too. So if you are a mom and you're looking for ways to make a little bit of extra money so that you can stay home with your kids, work flexibly, then this is definitely something you want to look into. It is something that I discovered a couple years ago and has helped me be able to make the decision to stay home with my daughter. She's about 4.5 months old. So I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to work as much or as little as I want and be able to spend time with my daughter when she is a baby. One reason this is such a great gig for mothers and especially stay-at-home moms is that you can go stir crazy in the house, and so to have different errands that you can run, different places that you can go to just get out of the house, do something with the baby, especially, the little one, because it can get kind of boring just playing baby games all day. So to be able to just pop into a thrift store for, 30 minutes to an hour and just walk around, maybe with the baby in a stroller or in a baby carrier. I usually have mine in a stroller, and just be able to flip through the racks and have some activity to break up the day a little bit. Reselling is very flexible, meaning that I can choose which day I go to the thrift store. I can choose what time I take pictures of these items and when I actually put them onto the reselling platforms like eBay, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace. And so I can do that in between naps, and it enables me to make a little bit of extra money to support our family when I'm not working full time. So to be able to have that extra cushion for me to be able to stay home. So really what I'm looking for as I'm looking through these racks are things that are undervalued by the thrift store. So things that are priced low enough that I can buy them and then make them available on platforms where they're now available to the whole world. On eBay, I have global shipping. So for people to be able to put into a search engine exactly what they're looking for and be able to buy it quickly from me versus that person having to go to multiple thrift stores and look through all the racks or go to different stores and try to find exactly what they're looking for. I have it available just at the click of a button. And you would be surprised at how many items there are that are undervalued at the thrift store that you can sell for more online. You would be surprised at what types of things, all sorts of different things are able to be resold. Also, while I'm at the thrift store, I often am looking at, kids' clothes, at clothes for myself, at things for my home. It just, you can't really avoid it. As much as you're trying to think about your business, you're also thinking about your life. And so often I will pick things up for myself. I will, buy clothes for my daughter or buy clothes for myself. And that helps, even lower the cost of, having a child and staying at home. It lowers our, expenses even more. So in addition to making money, I'm also saving money by going to the thrift stores. So as I'm flipping through these racks, I have a certain process that I go through. So as I walk in, I decide which category I'm going to look at first. Often I look at shoes first because they are pretty easy to scan, and I start looking, one, for things that are in good condition, and then secondly, for brands that I know hold their value even when they are secondhand or pre-owned, or even looking for things that have the tags still on them that are still new. Those often retain their value as well. And so I just am looking at those different things, and then I look at the price that the thrift store has it for. And so that also helps me determine whether it is valued at what I think it's worth or if it's undervalued, meaning that I have some room for profit there. Once I've done that, and often I'll put the items in my cart at this point, just so that I have some time when I am looking up to see how much these items are selling for online. So I will look up on eBay and I'll look, I'll search this item. So if it's a pair of shoes, I'll search the brand of the shoe, the type of shoe it is, and I'll put that into the eBay search bar and see all the listings that come up. And those are the ones that are currently for sale. But the most helpful information in deciding whether I'm going to buy these items or not is to go and look at how much those things have sold for on eBay in the last 90 days. So how I do that is I filter by sold, and then I am able to see how much this item has sold for. And so then I can make the determination if there's enough of a difference between the price that the thrift store wants me to pay and the price that I'm able to sell this item. So that in between, that's the amount that I can make and keep as a profit. And I can do the same thing on Poshmark as well. I look up the item, the brand, the type of item that it is, maybe a few descriptors, and then instead of looking at all of the available listings, which is usually what comes up when you search on Poshmark, I go and I filter by solds, and I can see all the sales that this item has had. So on eBay, it's only the past 90 days. On Poshmark, it's like of all time, all the sales. You do have a little bit more to look at, but eBay's is a little bit more timely. Once I get home, that's when I take off the tags, I wash these items or steam them if they can't go in a washer, and then I take pictures of them, and then I create listings for these different platforms, and I, put them for sale and make them available on these websites that have tons of customers already there who are searching for these things and willing to buy them. Once I sell the item, then I pack it up and get ready to ship it. On Poshmark, they provide a shipping label. eBay and on Facebook, you buy a shipping label from them, and then I take them to the post office and send them off. So all of those things in the second half of the business, those are all things that I can do from home and that I can do on a flexible time schedule. You don't even have to ship every day. You can set your handling time to ship every other day, and you can also set up package pickup, so the post office comes and picks up your packages at your porch if you have that available in your area, so you don't even have to leave the house to ship these items. So there are lots of ways that this business is very flexible. And sometimes it kind of sounds a little bit like an MLM, the kind of pitch that, oh, you can make money from home and on a flexible schedule and you can stay home with your kids. But with reselling, it's not an MLM. I don't make any money, recruiting people to be a part of this. But I just want to share this because I know that it's so important to have flexibility, especially when you have a young family, to be able to have another way of making money other than just, a corporate job or a job at a company, so that you can always have something to fall back on. And that has been really helpful in our life, to have something to, just cushion us a little bit in, times where prices are rising and our life is becoming more expensive, to be able to have a way to, kind of weather that. And you might be worried about taking your baby out to a thrift store because, what if they start crying or start fussing or things like that? But in my experience, my baby really loves going to the store because we don't get out that often. We spend a lot of our time at home. We're at the park. It's very exciting for her to be in a thrift store. She loves the different colors, the different stimuli. And it's really easy if you have a stroller or if you have a baby carrier, especially if you have a baby who likes to sleep in their carrier. That can be really great because you can just kind of strap them in there, get them to fall asleep, and then you have, the whole nap time to look through the thrift store. And so that's a really great way to do it as well. I would say it would become more difficult as babies become toddlers, as they, start needing more entertainment. But I have seen other moms at the thrift store with toddlers. Sometimes they have a little screen to keep the toddler entertained. So here are a few things that I picked up that I think I can sell online for a profit. I went to 2 thrift stores this day, and so I was out for most of the morning. I also went to Costco, and so, I was just kind of running errands the whole morning. And so I want to show you what I got and explain a little bit of what I was thinking when I picked these things up. So here I have a skirt by Chico's, and Chico's is a brand that I sell pretty often online. It is just kind of a brand that you would find in a mall. However, it has, really good sizing, meaning that the sizes go up pretty high. And the reason I picked this skirt up was I liked the embroidery on it. I thought that was really cute. And it was a really good size. Chico's has their own sizing. It's a size 3.5. And I believe that that's like a size 20. And this was also half off. So purple tags were half off this week at Goodwill. And so because this was half off, that was the reason I picked it up. It made it a little bit cheaper, more in my price range. And so I think I can sell this for about $20, $25. Next was this Hawaiian dress, and it's by the brand Hilo Hattie. And I've sold this brand a couple of times before, and this was also in a really good size, a size 3XL. And I thought it was so beautiful. It's kind of this off-the-shoulder Hawaiian dress, and this brand has a really good sell-through rate. So that means that the number of items that are currently for sale are less than or equal to the number of items that I've sold of this brand. So that means that potentially you will be able to sell that item faster than if a ton of people have this thing available and no one really wants to buy it. So next I have a pair of men's shoes, and these are the brand Echo. And these were $14.99, so they were pretty expensive, but I think I can get about $50 for them. And the reason I looked at these originally is that they are in really nice condition. Like, they don't seem like they've been worn really at all. And they're in a really good size. They're in a size 47. And Echo is a nice brand. It makes, nice shoes, lots of leather shoes, suede shoes. These are suede. I just think that they are really nice. They are kind of a classic style. So I'll see how these do. I sell mostly clothes and shoes, but I like to sell men's clothes and shoes a lot because they often sell, for me, faster than women's clothes and shoes. And they are a little bit easier to list because they're a little bit more simple. There aren't quite as many styles in men's clothes and shoes. Then I picked up this pair of Mia clogs. That's the brand. And they're Swedish clog. And they're like these wooden kind of clogs. So this style shoe of the Swedish clogs are something that you should look for when you're at the thrift store because these hold their value really well. They are definitely sought after. They're very expensive originally, like if you bought them new. And so these I think will sell for about $80. So this is the Greta style, and these are in really good condition as well. There is a little bit of peeling on the sole, if you can see that, but otherwise they don't look like worn down very much. So while I was at the Goodwill, I also was looking at things for myself, and I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this or if I'm going to sell this. It is an Easter tree, so it has like a little Easter ornament on there. And the reason this caught my eye is I'm pretty sure that my grandma had one just like this. So I wanted to see if it was going to be worth anything, but this was where eBay's 90-day, limit on solds really kind of hindered me, because I tried to look this up, but it's been more than 90 days since Easter season. And so no one has bought this in the past 90 days. But I'm not sure if that's because no one has it and no one, is looking to buy it. Or if it is that people bought it at Easter time, but people aren't buying Easter decorations in June. So we'll have to see. But I'm happy to keep this if it's not something worth selling. But I think it's pretty cool. It's got all these different, ornaments, and I counted to make sure that all of them were there. So we'll see how this does. I think this is a very unique piece. So I also went to another store called Deseret Industries, or DI if you're in Utah. We're not in Utah, but this is another thrift store, and I like going to this thrift store. They have pretty reasonable prices, and they have a very big store here in Houston anyway. So I was excited to look through the items. I started in the shoes, and I picked up this pair of Crocs. I like selling Crocs. They sell very quickly for me. They don't sell for a lot, but these were only $2. And then the other reason I picked them up is these things in the Croc are called gibbets, and these can be pretty valuable. And occasionally we will buy them and then give them to our nieces and nephews. And they love getting these, and they love wearing Crocs. So I'll have to look up to see, if any of these gibbets are worth anything. But if not, then we'll give them to our nieces and nephews. Okay, so then I picked up 2 pairs of pretty much the same shoe. So these are a brand called Saludos. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of printed on there. And these are basically new. I think they have maybe been tried on in a store, but they were not, worn out. It doesn't look like. The other thing about buying to resell is that you can buy things like sandals in October and put them for sale online, and people will buy them in the winter. Maybe they're going on a vacation and they need sandals, and stores don't have sandals available right now other than thrift stores. But like if you went to like a Macy's or a Target, they're not going to have sandals for sale right now because it's cold, but it's not cold everywhere. And, if you need a bathing suit in the winter, where are you going to buy it? You can buy it on eBay. From me, people need different things year round, and so I can differentiate myself from the stores by having something different. It's pretty interesting seeing the way that thrift stores price things, because these were $6 and they're just a really nice kind of tan color. Here's the second pair of Saludos. They're a different colorway, but really nice as well. But these were $8, so I don't know why they were more expensive. They're the same shoe, but I guess, you know, different people might have been pricing them. And I think I can sell those Saludos for about $30. I'm pretty happy with that amount, just because they will be really easy to take pictures of and list, because I don't have to clean them at all. They're in really, really nice condition. Okay, so here's another pair of shoes that are in really nice condition. These are new. They still have the tag on them. They are the brand Babylon, which is a tennis brand, and they are missing the insole, which isn't great, but usually with people who play sports, you know, running or things like that, sometimes people will have their own insoles that they want to put into these type of shoes. These are pretty interesting because they had two different prices on them. So one says 8 and one says 10 on here. So when I got up to the front, I was hoping that they would charge me just for the $8, but they charged me $10 and said, you know, no, they're $10, which is fine, because I think I can sell these for about $50 at least. So I'm happy to pay $10, and I wasn't going to argue and, you know, be like, oh, give me a manager, you know, whatever. I did buy these. They were $10, but I think that that's going to be a good investment. So lastly, I picked up two kind of jackets, like almost jackets, not really. But this is by the brand Scotch and Soda. When I looked this up, I found that it is a pajama blazer. I guess when you want to be like business casual when you sleep. But this is what the tag looks like. I know this brand is not very good in all areas, you know, so all different pieces aren't going to sell for that much, but this I thought was really cute and very unique, and so I think I can sell it for about $30. So that was the reason I picked it up, but I wouldn't recommend picking up everything in this specific brand, which is a good thing to keep in mind. You know, as you're learning more about reselling and as you're watching videos, often people will share brands that they are looking for in the thrift store, brands that can resell for a good amount. However, no brand sells for a good amount in every single item or category. So even if you see a brand that, you know, has a really high retail value or even has a high resale value, you want to look up that specific piece, because different pieces within a brand can be valued very, very differently. And so you want to be careful of that, of not becoming basically brand blind, where you're only thinking about brands instead of thinking about the specific piece that you're buying. Okay, so lastly, this jacket, and this is by the brand Eileen Fisher. It's a long line jacket. So Eileen Fisher is a brand that I sell very often. It's one of my favorites to buy to resell. And the reason it's one that is good to buy and resell is that it's high quality items. So they often have a good fabric content. So this one is a linen silk blend, and Eileen Fisher items are often made with silk, with wool, with linen, with cotton, things like that, that give it some more value because it's going to last a long time because it's made with those natural fibers. So this is what I picked up in just a morning of thrifting, and I'm hopefully going to be able to sell these online. I'm going to list them this week. It will probably take me another about an hour maybe to take pictures of these and to list them all. And so that just goes to show you that just a little bit of time can make you some extra money when you're a stay-at-home mom, can keep you, you know, kind of busy in that way. So I hope that this encourages you if you are looking for ways to make extra money. And if you are, leave a comment down below. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to chat with you down there. Let us know if you would pick up these items. If you would have asked for the manager to get the $8 on the shoes. Let us know down in the comments. We can start a conversation down there. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. I have lots of videos coming that will take you through, you know, how to list these items to sell them online and how to ship them and just take you through each part of the journey. So I'd love to have you along with me in my business. You know, this is kind of a lonely thing. I don't have coworkers, but I'd love for all of you to consider yourselves my coworkers. I consider you my coworkers. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.